Why many people start but never finish. Many people in the world want success. They dream of a good life, respect, money, peace, and self-confidence. They want to do something meaningful. They want to change their life and their future. In the beginning, their energy is high. Their mind is full of ideas. They start working with excitement. For some time, everything feels easy. They complete 20 to 30% of the work without much struggle. They feel happy and confident. They think, yes, I can do this. But slowly, the real work begins. Challenges appear. Progress becomes slow. Results are not visible. The work demands patience, discipline, and effort. At this stage, many people feel uncomfortable. They feel pressure, fear, and doubt. Instead of facing these challenges, they stop. They leave that work unfinished and start something new. Again, the beginning feels easy. Again, they complete some part. Again, when difficulty comes, they quit. This becomes a habit. Because of this habit, they stay busy all their life but never become successful. This is one of the biggest silent problems in today's world. People are not lazy. They are not useless. They work hard, but in the wrong way. They confuse movement with progress. Starting feels like success, but finishing creates success. Most people love starting. Very few people love continuing when it becomes hard. The mind wants comfort. It likes easy work, fast results, and praise. The moment work becomes boring, painful, or slow, the mind sends excuses. This is not for me. This is too hard. I should try something else. I will come back later. But later never comes. Success is not about doing many things. Success is about doing one thing for a long time, even when motivation disappears. This truth is simple, but most people do not accept it. They keep searching for shortcuts, motivation videos, new plans, and new ideas. But the real solution is not outside. It is inside their thinking. Another problem is misunderstanding success. Many people think success should come quickly. They compare themselves with others. They see people on social media showing results but not showing struggle. This creates pressure and confusion. When their own journey feels slow, they feel like a failure. They forget that every strong result takes time. Fear also plays a big role. Fear of failure. Fear of wasting time. Fear of choosing the wrong path. Because of fear, they keep changing direction. They think changing work is safer than staying and failing. But this thinking destroys growth. Growth comes only when you stay long enough to learn. This book is written for those people who start many things but finish nothing. For those who feel lost, confused, and tired of trying again and again. For those who work but still feel stuck at the same place. This is not a motivational story. This is a practical guide. In this book, you will understand why your mind runs away from challenges. Why starting feels easy but continuing feels hard. Why discipline is more important than motivation. Why consistency beats talent. How to choose one path and stay on it. How to train your thinking for long-term success. You will not find complex words here. You will not find fake positivity. Everything is explained in simple English, like a guide talking to you step by step. The goal is not to impress you. The goal is to help you understand yourself. Success is not magic. It is not luck. It is not reserved for special people. It is a result of correct thinking, repeated action, and patience. Anyone can learn this. Anyone can change, if they are ready to stay when things become uncomfortable. This introduction is the foundation. The next chapters will break the problem into clear parts and give you direction. If you read with honesty and apply slowly, you will not only understand success, you will start moving toward it. Chapter 1. Understand the real problem. Before trying to become successful, a person must first understand the real problem. Many people think their problem is lack of opportunity, lack of money, or lack of support. Some believe they are not talented enough. But in most cases, the real problem is different. The real problem is the habit of leaving work when it becomes difficult. Many people start their journey with excitement. They create plans, set goals, and begin working with full energy. During the first stage, everything feels smooth because the work is new and interesting. At this stage, motivation is high, and progress feels fast. Because of this, the person believes success is coming soon. But after some time, the easy stage ends. The work becomes repetitive, slow, and challenging. Mistakes begin to appear. Results are not visible. This is the moment when most people start losing interest. The mind naturally wants comfort. It avoids difficulty and looks for easier options. When work becomes hard, the mind starts giving reasons to stop. It says, maybe this work is not right for me, or I should try something else where success comes faster. The person listens to these thoughts and leaves the work. Then he starts another activity, again with excitement. But after some time, the same situation happens again. Slowly, this becomes a repeated pattern. This pattern creates a dangerous illusion. The person feels he is working hard because he is always busy starting something new. But real success does not come from starting many things. Real success comes from finishing one important thing completely. Each unfinished effort reduces confidence. When a person leaves work again and again, he begins to believe that he cannot complete anything. This weak belief silently blocks his future growth. Another part of the problem is misunderstanding struggle. Many people think struggle means something is wrong. They believe if the path is correct, it should feel easy. This thinking is incorrect. Every meaningful goal becomes difficult after the beginning stage. Difficulty is not a warning to stop, it is a normal part of progress. When you learn a new skill, the first lessons are simple, but mastery always demands patience and repeated effort. Those who understand this truth stay longer. Those who do not understand it keep changing direction. Comparison also increases the problem. When people see others achieving results quickly, they feel left behind. They forget that they are only seeing the final success, not the long years of practice behind it. Because of comparison, they start doubting their own path and again change their work. This continuous shifting prevents deep learning. Without staying long enough in one direction, no strong skill can develop. To solve this problem, the first step is awareness. You must honestly observe your own pattern. Ask yourself simple questions. Do I leave work when it becomes difficult? Do I keep starting new things instead of finishing the old ones? Do I expect quick results? Do I feel uncomfortable when progress becomes slow? If the answer is yes, then the problem is not outside, it is inside the working habit. And the good news is that habits can be changed. Understanding the real problem gives clarity. When clarity comes, direction becomes easier. Instead of blaming luck, situation, or people, you begin to work on your own consistency. You realize that finishing is more important than starting. You also begin to accept that discomfort is part of the journey, not an enemy. From this chapter, remember one simple guiding line. Leaving during difficulty is the biggest enemy of success. In the next chapter, you will learn why the human mind naturally runs away from challenges and how to control this tendency step by step. Chapter 2: Why the mind runs away from challenges. To move forward in life, you must understand how your mind works. The mind is powerful, but it is also very protective. Its main job is not to make you successful. Its main job is to keep you safe and comfortable. Because of this, the mind naturally avoids pain, effort, and uncertainty. This is why challenges feel heavy and uncomfortable. When you start something new, the mind feels happy. New work gives excitement. There is curiosity, hope, and energy. At this stage, the mind feels safe because there is no pressure yet. You are not tested. You are not failing. Everything looks possible. This is why the first 20 to 30% of work feels easy. But as you move forward, reality appears. The work starts demanding focus. Mistakes happen. You feel tired. Progress slows down. At this stage, the mind feels danger, not real danger, but emotional danger. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of wasting time, and fear of discomfort begin to rise. The mind does not like these feelings. So it tries to protect you by pushing you away from the situation. This is when negative thoughts start coming. This is too hard. I am not good at this. Others are better than me. Maybe this is not my path. I should try something easier. These thoughts feel real, but they are only defense signals from the mind. The mind wants quick relief, not long-term growth. Starting something new gives instant comfort because there is no pressure again. That is why many people jump from one thing to another. It gives temporary peace, but no permanent progress. Another reason the mind avoids challenges is the habit of instant rewards. Today, people are used to fast results, fast food, fast entertainment, fast likes, fast money stories. Because of this, patience becomes weak. When results do not appear quickly, the mind becomes restless. It wants change, not continuation. The mind also loves certainty. But growth always comes with uncertainty. When you continue working on one thing, you do not know exactly when success will come. This makes the mind uncomfortable. Starting something new feels like control again. It feels like a fresh chance. But real control is staying calm in uncertainty, not escaping from it. Many people think they lack motivation. But the truth is motivation is not missing. Discipline is missing. Motivation comes and goes. It depends on mood, energy, and environment. Discipline means doing the work even when the mind says no. Successful people are not always motivated. They are trained to act despite resistance. Understanding this changes everything. When you know that your mind will try to stop you during difficulty, you stop trusting every thought. You begin to observe instead of react. You say to yourself, "This discomfort is normal. This thought is not truth. This is just my mind trying to escape." This awareness gives power. Instead of running away, you start staying a little longer. You do not need to fight the mind aggressively. You only need to refuse its excuses. You continue working slowly, calmly, one step at a time. Over time, the mind learns a new pattern. It understands that you will not quit easily. Slowly, resistance becomes weaker. Another important point is identity. If you see yourself as a person who quits easily, the mind will follow that identity. But if you start seeing yourself as a person who finishes what he starts, the mind begins to support that image. Identity is built by repeated actions. Every time you continue despite discomfort, you are training your mind. This chapter teaches one main truth. Your mind is not your enemy, but it is not your guide either. The mind wants comfort. You want growth. Growth always requires going beyond comfort. When you accept this, challenges stop feeling personal. They become part of the process. From this chapter, remember this guiding line. The mind avoids difficulty, but success lives inside difficulty. In the next chapter, you will learn the difference between motivation and discipline, and why discipline is the real foundation of success. Chapter 3: Motivation is temporary, discipline is permanent. Many people wait for motivation to work. They believe that when they feel inspired, they will give their best effort. In the beginning of any new task, motivation feels strong. Energy is high, confidence is high, and the mind feels positive. But this feeling does not last long. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions always change. They depend on mood, sleep, environment, results, and outside influence. This is why motivation cannot be the foundation of success. When challenges appear and results slow down, motivation naturally drops. At this stage, people stop working and wait for motivation to return. Some watch motivational videos, read quotes, or listen to speeches. These things can help for a short time, but they do not solve the real problem. Motivation gives a push, but it cannot carry you for long distances. Discipline is different. Discipline means doing the work even when you do not feel like it. It means acting according to your goal, not according to your mood. Discipline does not depend on excitement. It depends on decision. When you decide clearly what you want and commit to it, discipline becomes possible. Think about simple daily habits. Brushing teeth, eating food, or going to work are not done because of motivation. They are done because they are part of life. In the same way, successful people turn their important work into a habit, not a mood-based action. They work even on tired days, boring days, and slow days. Many people say, "I will work when I feel ready." But readiness comes after action, not before it. Action creates clarity. Action builds confidence. Waiting creates doubt and fear. When you take small action daily, discipline slowly grows stronger. Another misunderstanding is that discipline is hard and painful. In the beginning, it is uncomfortable because the mind resists change. But once discipline becomes a habit, it actually brings peace. You no longer fight with yourself every day. You already know what you need to do. This reduces mental stress. Discipline also protects you from distractions. When your work time is fixed, you do not waste energy deciding again and again. Decision fatigue reduces, and focus increases. This is why consistent people progress faster, even if they are not very talented. To build discipline, you must start small. Do not try to change your entire life in one day. Choose one goal. Fix one daily action related to that goal. Do it every day, even if it is small. The size of action is not important. Regularity is important. Small daily discipline is stronger than big irregular effort. Also, forgive yourself for bad days. Discipline does not mean perfection. It means returning quickly after failure. Some days you will feel low. Some days you will miss your routine. Do not quit because of one bad day. Restart the next day. This ability to return is also discipline. Successful people are not special. They are simply consistent. They continue when others stop. They work when others wait. Over time, this creates skill, confidence, and results. Discipline is like a bridge between dreams and reality. Without it, dreams remain thoughts only. From this chapter, remember this guiding line. Motivation starts the journey, but discipline finishes it. In the next chapter, you will learn how to choose one clear direction and stop jumping from one goal to another. Chapter 4. Choose one direction and stay with it. One of the biggest reasons people fail to achieve success is lack of clear direction. Many people want many things at the same time. They want to learn many skills, try many opportunities, and follow many ideas. Because of this, their energy gets divided. When energy is divided, progress becomes slow, and frustration begins. Slowly, they start believing that success is difficult, while the real problem is confusion, not difficulty. Success requires focus. When you focus on one meaningful direction, your time, energy, and learning start moving in the same line. Small daily actions begin to connect with each other. Skills improve faster because repetition happens. Confidence grows because you start seeing progress. But this happens only when you stay long enough in one path. Many people change direction too early. They start something, work for a few weeks or months, and then feel uncertain. Because results are not immediate, they think the path is wrong. They compare themselves with others who may already be ahead. This comparison creates impatience. Instead of continuing, they jump to another idea, hoping that the new path will give faster success. Unfortunately, the same cycle repeats again. Choosing one direction does not mean you will never change in life. It means giving enough time for one path to show its true result. Every meaningful goal needs a learning period, a struggle period, and a growth period. If you leave before completing these stages, you never experience the real reward of your effort. To choose a direction, ask yourself simple guiding questions. What work interests me enough that I can stay with it for a long time? Which skill or field can improve my life and also help others? Which goal is worth my patience, even when progress is slow? You do not need a perfect answer. You only need a clear starting point. Once you choose, make a personal commitment to stay with it for a fixed period long enough to learn deeply. During this period, avoid unnecessary comparison and distraction. Your only job is to continue improving step by step. Another important idea is accepting the boring phase. Every work becomes repetitive after some time. Learning basics, practicing daily, and correcting mistakes may feel boring, but this phase builds mastery. People who escape the boring phase never reach the expert level. People who stay slowly become strong. Focus also saves mental energy. When you stop thinking every day about what should I do next, your mind becomes calm. Decision-making becomes easier. Your attention moves from searching to improving. This shift is powerful. Instead of chasing many opportunities, you begin to create opportunity through your skill. Sometimes people fear choosing one direction because they think they might choose the wrong path. But not choosing is a bigger mistake. Action teaches more than endless thinking. Even if the first direction is not perfect, the learning you gain will always help you in the future. Staying inactive or constantly changing paths teaches nothing. Remember, success is not created by doing many things once. It is created by doing one important thing repeatedly for a long time. Consistency in one direction builds depth, and depth creates value. When you become valuable in one area, opportunities naturally begin to appear. From this chapter, remember this guiding line. Energy scattered brings confusion, energy focused brings success. In the next chapter, you will learn how patience works and why slow progress is not failure but a necessary part of growth. Chapter 5: The Power of Patience and Slow Progress. Many people stop working toward their goals because they believe progress is too slow. They expect quick results and fast success. When they do not see immediate improvement, they feel discouraged and start thinking that their effort is useless. This thinking becomes the biggest barrier to long-term success. In reality, almost every meaningful achievement grows slowly in the beginning. Learning a skill, building a career, improving health, or creating a business, all these things require time. At the start, improvement is not always visible. You may work daily but feel that nothing is changing. This stage is called the silent growth stage. During this time, your mind is learning, your skills are developing, and your experience is increasing, even if results are not yet visible. Many people leave exactly at this stage. They believe nothing is happening, so they quit. But those who stay with patience slowly move into the next stage, where improvement becomes clear and confidence increases. The difference between successful and unsuccessful people is often patience, not intelligence. Patience does not mean doing nothing. It means continuing to work without losing direction while waiting for results to appear. It means trusting the process. When farmers plant seeds, they do not dig the soil every day to check whether the plant is growing. They water the soil regularly and allow time to do its work. Success in life follows the same principle. Daily effort is the water, and time is the sunlight. Another reason people lose patience is comparison. They see someone else achieving faster results and begin to feel that they are behind. They forget that every person's starting point, background, and opportunity are different. Comparing your early stage with someone else's advanced stage creates unnecessary pressure. The correct comparison is with your own past self. Ask, am I better than I was last month? If the answer is yes, you are already progressing. Slow progress also builds strong foundations. When growth is gradual, understanding becomes deeper, mistakes are corrected properly, and skills become stable. Fast success without strong foundations often disappears quickly, but slow success, built on patience and continuous practice, remains strong for a long time. To develop patience, focus on daily actions instead of daily results. Results are not always in your control, but actions are. When you complete your daily effort honestly, you should feel satisfied, even if the result is not yet visible. This mindset reduces stress and keeps motivation stable. It is also helpful to divide big goals into smaller steps. When a goal looks too big, the mind becomes afraid and impatient. But when you break the goal into daily or weekly tasks, progress becomes easier to see. Small completed steps create confidence and keep you moving forward. Remember that impatience creates quitting, but patience creates completion. The world often celebrates final success, but behind every visible achievement there are long periods of silent effort that nobody sees. If you learn to stay calm during these silent periods, your chances of success increase greatly. From this chapter, remember this guiding line. Slow progress is still progress. Quitting stops progress completely. In the next chapter, you will learn how to build the habit of finishing what you start and how completion itself increases confidence. Chapter 6. Build the habit of finishing what you start. One of the most powerful habits for success is the habit of finishing. Many people are good at starting tasks, but very few people train themselves to complete them. Because of this, their life becomes full of unfinished plans, incomplete projects, and half-learned skills. Over time, this habit weakens confidence. A person begins to feel that he can start anything, but cannot complete anything. Completion is important because it builds trust in yourself. When you finish a task, even a small one, your mind receives a clear message: I can do what I decide. This message slowly increases confidence. Confidence is not built by thinking positively, it is built by completing actions. Every completed step becomes proof of your ability. Many people leave work in the middle because they feel bored, tired, or distracted. Sometimes they believe the task is no longer interesting. But success does not depend on interest alone. Interest changes frequently. If you work only when you feel interested, most of your important goals will remain incomplete. Learning to continue even when the work feels ordinary is the key to finishing. To build the habit of completion, begin with small commitments. Do not start with very big goals that feel heavy. Choose small tasks that you can realistically finish. For example, complete one chapter of learning, finish one small project, or practice a skill for a fixed time daily until a clear milestone is achieved. When small completions happen regularly, your mind becomes trained to close tasks instead of leaving them open. Another useful method is setting clear finish points. Many people do not define what finished means, so they keep working without direction and eventually lose interest. Before starting any task, decide what the final step will be. When the finish line is clear, your effort becomes focused, and the mind feels satisfaction after completion. Avoid the habit of starting many tasks at the same time. Too many open tasks create mental pressure. The mind feels overloaded and starts avoiding work. Instead, work on fewer tasks and complete them one by one. This reduces confusion and increases productivity. Finishing one task gives mental energy for the next task. Distractions are another reason people fail to complete work. Mobile phones, social media, and unnecessary conversations can break concentration. When concentration breaks repeatedly, the task feels longer and heavier than it really is. Try to create simple rules for yourself, such as working without checking the phone for a fixed period. Even short distraction-free sessions can improve completion ability. It is also important to accept imperfect completion. Some people delay finishing because they want everything to be perfect. They keep improving small details and never reach the end. Perfection is not required for progress. Finished work can always be improved later, but unfinished work cannot create any result. Completion should come before perfection. Every time you finish something, take a moment to notice it. Recognize your own effort. This small recognition strengthens the habit and encourages you to continue. Over months and years, the habit of finishing builds a powerful personality, someone who can be trusted to deliver results. From this chapter, remember this guiding line. Starting shows intention, but finishing creates success. In the next chapter, you will learn how to handle failure and mistakes without losing direction, and how setbacks can actually strengthen long-term success. Chapter 7. Learn to face failure without changing direction. Every person who works toward success faces failure. Mistakes, wrong decisions, slow results, and unexpected problems are natural parts of any journey. But many people misunderstand failure. They think failure means the path is wrong or they are not capable. Because of this misunderstanding, they leave their goal and start something new. This reaction keeps them stuck in the same cycle of starting again and again. Failure is not a signal to stop, it is a signal to learn. When you try something new, you cannot do everything perfectly from the beginning. Skills develop through practice, and practice always includes mistakes. If a person quits every time he makes an error, he never stays long enough to improve. Successful people also fail many times, but instead of running away, they study the mistake, correct it, and continue moving forward. One reason people fear failure is the fear of judgment. They worry about what others will think if they do not succeed. This fear creates pressure and reduces courage. But in reality, most people are busy with their own lives and rarely pay as much attention as we imagine. Your growth should be more important than temporary opinions. Learning from failure builds strength that no outside approval can give. Another reason people change direction after failure is emotional reaction. When something does not work, disappointment feels heavy. In that emotional moment, the mind wants quick relief. Leaving the task gives temporary comfort, but it also removes the chance to grow. Instead of making decisions in emotional moments, it is better to pause, calm the mind, and then think logically, what can I improve? What did this mistake teach me? It is also important to separate failure from identity. Failing in one attempt does not mean you are a failure as a person. It simply means one method did not work. When you keep your identity strong, you can adjust your strategy without losing confidence. Many great achievements were reached only after many unsuccessful attempts, but those attempts built the experience required for final success. A practical method to handle failure is reflection. After every setback, ask 3 simple questions. What went wrong? What can I do differently next time? What lesson should I remember? Writing these answers helps the mind move from emotional reaction to learning mode. Over time, this habit turns every mistake into useful experience. Instead of fearing failure, you begin to see it as part of training. Another helpful idea is keeping a long-term view. One small failure does not decide your entire future. Life is a long journey made of many steps. When you look only at the current problem, it appears very big. But when you see it as one step in a long process, it becomes manageable. Staying focused on the long-term goal helps you remain steady even when short-term results are not perfect. Remember that people who succeed are not those who never fail. They are those who continue after failure without losing direction. Each time you stand up again, your mental strength increases. Gradually, challenges stop feeling frightening because you know you can handle them. From this chapter, remember this guiding line. Failure is not the end of the path. Leaving the path is the real failure. In the next chapter, you will learn how daily routines and small consistent habits create powerful long-term results. Chapter 8. Small daily habits create big results. Many people believe that success comes from big actions, big opportunities, or one powerful moment of change. But in real life, most success is created by small daily habits repeated for a long time. Small actions may look simple, but when they are done consistently, they slowly build strong results. Think about learning any skill. If you practice for a few hours only once in a while, improvement will be slow. But if you practice a little every day, your mind and body begin to adjust. Knowledge becomes clearer, mistakes reduce, and confidence grows. Over months and years, these small daily efforts create a big difference between those who are consistent and those who are not. Daily habits are powerful because they remove the need for constant decision-making. When an action becomes part of your routine, you do not waste time asking yourself whether you should do it or not. You simply do it. This saves mental energy and keeps your progress stable even on days when motivation is low. Many people fail to build habits because they try to start too big. They set very difficult routines and cannot maintain them for long. After a few days, they feel tired and stop completely. A better approach is to begin with small and realistic habits. Even a short daily effort is enough if it is done regularly. Once the habit becomes comfortable, you can slowly increase the level of effort. Another important point is linking habits to your main goal. Every daily habit should move you slightly closer to your chosen direction. If your goal is learning a skill, your daily habit should include practice. If your goal is improving health, your daily habit should include exercise or healthy eating. When habits are connected to your purpose, they feel meaningful and easier to maintain. Consistency is more important than intensity. Working very hard for a few days and then stopping for many days does not create growth. Steady daily action, even if small, builds momentum. Momentum makes the next action easier. When you keep moving without long breaks, your mind stays connected with the goal, and progress continues naturally. Tracking your habits can also help. When you mark each day that you complete your habit, you create visual proof of your consistency. Seeing a chain of completed days motivates you to continue and not break the pattern. This simple method strengthens commitment. It is also useful to create a supportive environment. Keep your tools ready, reduce distractions, and choose a fixed time for your habit. When the environment supports your action, resistance becomes smaller. For example, if you want to read daily, keep the book where you can easily see it. Small environmental changes make habits easier to maintain. Remember that big results often look sudden from the outside, but they are usually the result of long periods of small, repeated effort. People who succeed are not always doing extraordinary things every day. They are simply doing ordinary things consistently, without stopping. From this chapter, remember this guiding line. Small daily discipline, repeated for years, becomes great success. In the next chapter, you will learn how to protect your focus from distractions and keep your mind aligned with your long-term goal. Chapter 9. Protect your focus and stay committed. In today's world, distraction is one of the biggest enemies of success. Even when people choose a goal and start working, their attention is often pulled in many different directions. Mobile phones, social media, entertainment, unnecessary conversations, and constant notifications break concentration again and again. Because of this, even hardworking people sometimes fail to achieve meaningful progress. Focus is not only about working hard, it is about working with full attention. When your mind is divided, your effort becomes weak. A task that could be finished in 1 hour may take 3 hours because attention keeps shifting. Over time, this reduces productivity and also decreases confidence. A person begins to feel that he is working a lot but not achieving enough. The real issue is not lack of effort, it is lack of focused effort. Protecting focus begins with understanding its value. Every time you allow unnecessary distraction, you lose a small part of your mental energy. When this happens repeatedly, your mind becomes tired even without doing deep work. On the other hand, when you work with uninterrupted focus, your brain learns faster, problems become clearer, and results improve. One practical method to protect focus is setting fixed work periods. During this time, avoid checking your phone, messages, or social media. Even short focused sessions can create strong progress if they are distraction-free. After completing the session, you can take a short break and then begin again. This simple method trains the mind to stay steady. Another helpful step is reducing unnecessary commitments. Sometimes people try to do too many activities at the same time, too many goals, too many responsibilities, too many distractions. When your schedule is overloaded, your focus naturally becomes weak. Choosing fewer but more meaningful priorities allows you to give deeper attention to what truly matters. Environment also affects focus. A clean and organized workspace reduces mental confusion. When your surroundings are calm, your mind also becomes calmer. Small changes, such as keeping only necessary items near you while working, can improve concentration. Commitment is the partner of focus. Focus helps you work in the present moment, and commitment keeps you connected to your long-term goal. Some days you may feel excited, and some days you may feel tired or bored. Commitment means continuing your effort regardless of changing moods. It reminds you why you started and why continuing is important. You do not need to remove all distractions from life, but you must control when you allow them. Entertainment and relaxation are normal parts of life, but they should not control your working hours. When you give priority to focused work first, you enjoy relaxation later without guilt or pressure. People who achieve success are not always more intelligent than others. Often, they simply protect their focus better. They respect their working time and treat their goals seriously. Over months and years, this focused effort builds strong skills, reliable results, and self-confidence. From this chapter, remember this guiding line. Where focus goes, progress grows.